to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the 21st of November, President Ruto is going to has made a PR pitch on Kenya Kwanza administration 2 years after it came into office. But I will also remind the president that by April 2025, the administration will be halfway their 5-year term. So the only time to promise is between now to April. From April next year, there will be no more promising. This State of the Nation address came at a time when a section of Kenyans went online that seeking disapproval gesture of President Ruto's speech by planning a Thursday protest. Now, I woke up this morning, and when I see different reports, media reports, the police have taken guard of parliament and strategic infrastructures of the government in a move trying to forestall any street protest that might happen. And of course, having learned from the June and the July protest, the government would leave no chance. So successfully, people, probably that disapproval voice, the section of Kenyans that were willing to show their displeasure, have also been actually suppressed by the state machinery. Yesterday, I saw the police spokesperson, Rosalia Nyango, saying that no Kenyan had gone, because according to the constitution, you're supposed to go and issue a notice of a protest, of a procession, and where you'll be doing it and furnish the police with all the details so that the police can provide protection. Now, they said yesterday that no Kenyan had gone to seek, no organizer had gone to seek permission. And of course, I'm not shocked, because looking at the environment Kenya has been operating since that protest in June, no one would dare do that, because I can promise you, when you walk to a police station seeking those approvals, sending those permission, you might end up in a thicket somewhere, or the family might really, your family might put your family in a strain trying to look for you around the city. So people might not be running in the streets. People might not be protesting physically. But there is a kind of protest that I want to bring to the president. That in real sense, the population is protesting. And even though we planted Raila Odinga in government and birthed some tribal, brought in some few influential fellows from the opposition, from the ODM in government, the dissenting voices, to take away the dissenting voices, I am afraid that in the fullness of time, not even Raila Odinga will be able to contain Wanjiku. Kenyan problem on Kenyan protest voice is, actually want to demonstrate that it is threefold. These are the three major areas of why Wanjiku is protesting. Before we look into those areas, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel. We are heading to 100,000 subscribers. We are 6,500 shy, 400 shy of that target, and I believe that we can achieve it. Kindly remember, the subscription is free. It doesn't cost anything, and even your email is secure. So when we publish a video, you will always get that notification. And that is the advantage of being member of this great family. And apart from that, if you are planning to move your office items, or you want to relocate, or your household items from town to another place, to up country or another place, you need a company that is legit, a company that you can trust, a company that is professional. And that is why we recommend to you Top Mark Movers. Top Mark top movers is the best on a logistical needs when you want to move from one place to the other and you want to move your office items or even your household. You need a company that will ensure that your things are safe. So contact them there, 0719 17 43 93. And I believe Top Movers is going to give you a good service. Ladies and gentlemen, the first area where Wanjiku is protesting, there are three, and allow me start with the last one. Number 3, and that is the shrinking political rights. Shrinking political rights. If you remember, a voice that the clergy have been saying, there was one pastor, one bishop from Kakamega who asked, where is IBC? 2 years since that commission was bungled, they're pending by-elections, even occasioned by the cabinet picks like Wandai in Ugenya and other areas, and there is no sign of the government constituting IEBC. And we say, Kriegler report said clearly that we should have IBC. IBC should get almost all the 5 years to prepare for the next election. So the political rights of citizens are also diminishing. And if you want to, the best way to demonstrate this is this moment when Kasmil Makoure was trying to sell ODM, and he was being confronted, them asking, what does ODM stand for?
End of the day, we were surprised because for the longest, and we wanted to call Raila for who he is. We appreciate the work he has done, the sacrifices he has made, but for how long are we going to pray for that price tag? Because he was a liberator, he stood firm, he was a social justice advocate, then now we just, everything he says and he does is okay, that we cannot be able to challenge and question. And today you want to tell us that ODM is the biggest political party. What ideologies, what is it that they stand for? That today we have lost young people who are killed, people are being abducted. Right now you're just walking around the street, but you have fear. You fear for your life. For us, I will be able to tell you, for example, I serve at Kariobangi Social Justice Center. And these things, we run with our own coin. Sometimes you help someone, and it's that same person who is going to be able to abuse you and maybe even attack you. But you serve within that community. Sometimes we use our own pocket money. And we have been there. So at the end of the day, we need to be able to challenge ourselves as young people, that we'll never allow ourselves to be allured by the essence of maybe gaining power, popularity, and all that. It's all about aspiration. It's all about standing for something.
And this one, the public is looking at it this way. More as the president said that he wants a good opposition that can put the government on check, he has absorbed the opposition politicians into Kenya Kwanza administration. And in the middle of nowhere, we seem not to have an opposition. And just listen to this. Now, that is one factor, not so major. The second, and these are the two major ones, human rights violation. Human rights violation. And I'm afraid this will get to the 2027 ballot if President Ruto is not very careful. Just on Tuesday, the president met with the Women Caucus, and of course supporting the 16 days of gender activism against gender-based violence. He gave them 100 million so that they can use it for that campaign, and he said, and ordered the police to end femicide. I don't know why he's so skewed, and I consistently listen to the speech that the president gave during Kindiki swearing in. He also spoke about femicide. But the abductions and disappearances, even though the police reports have actually acknowledged that indeed that is a problem that is facing this country, the president seemed not to have taken care of it. And even the reports that I've issued, the police issued reports about how many people went missing, how many people are accounted for, how many people are unaccounted for. And of course, the police statement is doctored. It is a lie. The statement from KNHR painted it clearly. And you can see that Kenyans are raising their voices about it.
But sincerely speaking, what kind of a country is this? Hii ni nchi ya sangapi? Nchi ambayo haina mpango, haina mwelekeo, hata hujui leo ni lini, hujui kesho ni lini, hujui what is going on, what we are expecting, where are we coming from, where are we going, what kind of a country is this? Now tell me what kind of a country does not even have the plans for the education of the kids. Niambie ni nchi ya aina gani ambayo mnaenda hospitali, hata kuadmitiwa hospitali ama kukuta daktari hakuna. Niambie what kind of a country, in fact ni afadhali kuishi Somalia, unaondokea maguruneti na marisasi kuliko kuondokea wajinga na watu ambao wameshiba. Ni nchi ya aina gani sasa hii? Is this country really worth dying for? Is this country really worth kupigwa hata mawe kwa sababu ya kind of a country like this one? Hii ni nchi ambayo hata mtu anaifikiria unasikia sukari inapanda peke yake. Nchi ambayo haujui chakula. Saa hii ni wakati wa kupanda, hakuna mbegu za kununua. Unaenda kwa maduka, no seeds, no seedlings, hakuna mbegu, na ni wakati wa kupanda. Mvua inanyesha, lakini serikali na hiyo companies hazina mbegu. Honest, na mvua inaendelea. Na niambie ni nchi gani ambayo surely hakuna kamati ya IBC? Ni nchi gani? Na election every other time kwa sababu kifo inaweza fanyika any other time. Hakuna. Just tell me, this is not a country that you can die for. This is not a country that you can sacrifice your kids for. This is not a country that you can sacrifice your life for. It is a funny country. It is a country you don't understand where it is coming from, where it is going, my friends. This is not a country hata ya kufikiria anybody. Hii ni country tu ya kutrust God. Sincerely speaking. Look at the country now. Now leo ni siku gani? Sijui deputy ni nani? Sijui kama deputy ni Kibiki, deputy president ni Rigathi, sijui deputy yani, what kind of a country is this? Ni nchi ya aina gani hii?
We are asking again the government of Kenya. Is it, I mean, as matters stand today, is it safe for opposition politicians in Uganda to enter Kenya and stay there? Is it safe? Or we are persona non grata now in Kenya? Or Kenyans, or the government of Kenya is complicit in these transgressions, in these violations being perpetrated by the regime forces here?
Now, this is one factor that we have even, this is one vice that we have even exported. How Besigye was, arrested and abducted from Kenya and driven all the way to Uganda, while the Kenyan officials keep on saying we didn't know, is something that the country is yet to understand. This is one of the parents that are still looking for their children 4 months down the line. I think on this one, it is not a donated right. This is in the bill. This one is in the Constitution. It is not a president's prerogative to provide. No, it is actually in the Constitution. Now, the major challenge, another point of protest, the economy of education, economy of health, economy of agriculture, and the economy of housing. Mr. President, these four are not working.
Kama hamujamaliza barabara yetu ya Githongori town, hakuna pahali tutasikizana. Niseme nisiseme? Pesa ya wakulima wa kahawa mulitoa zikiwa bilioni 6, mukachukua bilioni 2.1, mukaficha kununua treasury bills. Mukakataa kupatia wakulima wa kahawa pesa yao, mukaenda kununua treasury bills, na profit ya treasury bills nyinyi ndio mnajua pahali mnapeleka. Niseme nisiseme? Niseme nisiseme? Rais wakati alikuja hapa Githongori, alisimama hapa kwa stadium, akasema hapa Githongori ataleta milk coolers 25. Akaongezea 5 akasema milk coolers zitakuwa 30. Zimekuja hazijakuja? Mumeziona? Kama hujaleta hizo milk coolers ulisema hapa stadium, Wamuchomba lazima aongee. Niseme. Wamama wetu ambao wanajifungua walikuwa na kadi tulikuwa tunaita Linda Mama. Ukatoa Linda Mama. Ukatuletea hii ingine inaitwa She, Sha, Shda, Du, Da, De, Du, De, Da, Du, De, Da, Du, De, Da, To. Niseme. Wamama wetu wanazalia kwa barabara. Wamama wetu wanazalia nje ya hospitali. Hakuna pesa ya Linda Mama. Niseme. Barabara zote za Mau zile zilikuwa zimeanzishwa na serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Tukaweka pesa kwa bunge 250 million. After 4 months hiyo pesa ikatolewa ikaachwa 70 million. Kwani ni pesa tu ya huku Central inatolewa? Tumebebwa ufala. Hapana. Wacheni niwaambie. Inywe ni mukadirika na inywe. Mukadirika na mutumia waragiama. Na utetigagira tondu jaragiama. Ona mugeto mera borithi ciothe ta ici murehete guku. No ngwaria. Na no nguga. Andu ni anogu. Na manogetio ni She, na Sha, na Da, na Du, na Di, na Sha, na Du. Watu wage Githunguri ni mugathura ringi, ni mukahe hinya, ndimoragiririe. Saa hii watoto wa university kutoka Mlima Kenya wanawekwa kwa ile system ya HELB, kwa sababu system ya HELB inatumia kitu inaitwa population means. Wanachagua watoto kulingana na pahali umetoka, kama kwenyu kuna title ama hakuna title, kama mnaishi nyumba ya kukomboa ama ni nyumba yenu ya jumbani. Watoto wa hapa Mlima Kenya, niseme, watoto wa hapa Mlima Kenya wanawekwa band 5, band 4 na band 3. Watoto wa eneo zingine wanawekwa band 1 na band 2.
Now that is the voice of Wamuchomba. What is wrong with the economy of education? As we talk, lecturers are on strike. For government to obey that lecturer CBA, you only need 9.7 billion. I was shocked that we spent 2.1 billion for Haiti. While doctors here, universities are struggling because lecturers are on strike. And lecturers are striking over a CBA that only need a paltry 9.7 billion to be implemented. The same education, the funding model had been chaotic. And the low-hanging fruits that were supposed to be harvested from that model is not really being harvested by the parents. As we speak, there is a scandal of 2.2 billion why Moi University is closed. I will analyze that story. I will analyze it. And we act like nothing is happening. There is a problem. In this education, the CBC is the transition, there is a lot of uncertainty in that CBC. And government just keeps on changing goalposts. We are going to hire, I don't know, X amount of teachers for JSS. I don't know, we are going to pump X amount of money to build classrooms of this and this. But that transition is not well financed and not well managed. Let's go to health. We rolled a transition from NHIF to SHA, if I don't know what. That transition has occasioned some, some challenges for Kenyans seeking medical services, especially those debts that are owed to some to private institutions. They have not been assured of how they're going to be paid. The model of people, despite of people then that those deductions being made, it has not translated to a feel of, yes, people are getting paid, the medical services are being paid, but the feel is not there. In agriculture, yes, we've said for the first time you're not going to import sugar. Good news. But the maize farmers there are saying government is buying maize at a very low price that they are going at losses. Some farmers, just this year, were given fake fertilizer and we even had to fire a minister. In housing, we are doing deductions under the guise of, yes, creating jobs. Yes, we are creating jobs. But are we really, when the prices of those houses are actually put on Boma Yangu, Wanjiku, who was told that it's supposed to be beneficiary of that, is not the beneficiary. The same housing is also riddled with the fact that absorption is very low while we are talking about constructions going on in the country. So the protest is there. I like solution journalism. I tend to go that direction. And that is why I want to point out to Kenya Kwanza, these are the points of change. This is the change point. Away from the rhetoric, we need to narrow down to the change point. The change point is this. Wanjiku, Mr. President, Wanjiku feels unheard. The state should not be a know-it-all. Just today, I did a video on, this was Wednesday night, when the Adani guy was indicted in some corruption case, some bribery case in the US. And I did say in that video that the oligarchs from Kenya will brush off. I've just seen the CS for Energy, or P1I, saying that them, according to their own assessment, Adani is clean. And so they are not going to depend on what the US is saying. Now, you look at that. As in, there is a rigidity, and that rigidity is not because you're right, it's because my interest is served. So you cannot listen to when Wanjiku is saying this does not work. It's Wanjiku who is going to seek medical services, and Wanjiku is saying, no, Mr. President, it's not working. Then you say, wait, every transition has chaos. It will be fixed. Stop complaining, just register. You told Adani is not good. Adani is not good. And then you say, wait, you are being lied to. You don't know the truth. Now US is saying the truth about that company. You still say that is a lie. You cannot have monopoly of the truth. Drop the defensive line and accept some faults and fix. At least if you accept, you're showing signs of taking responsibility to fix. The other issue is, let us respect Chapter 4, the Bill of Rights. No one should feel unsafe in the country. No one should feel unsafe, because when you see instances of people being abducted in broad daylight with unmarked vehicles, if it's an arrest, why don't you just come with a government vehicle? Then fix the IBC. It's a great concern. I've seen some electorates. They have initiated a plan to recall some MPs. Those are rights. So let's fix IBC, because we have an election coming. We don't want to rush last minute so that we just rush things. I think IBC should be fixed so that those demographic that has not registered can register and participate in the next general election. And my point is this: while the streets are silent because the state machinery is in the street, but in real sense, the protest is there. Thank you.